Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. You ever wonder what that f/decimal point number is when you look at a lens or a camera? Well, that's your aperture. We're going to talk about that today. If I had to break down aperture really simply, it's basically how wide or how narrow the opening of a camera's lens can be. Pretty simple. Basically, there are a couple of advantages and disadvantages that come with that. A good rule of thumb is that the lower numbers, the f/1.8s, 2.0s, 2.8s, etc., they are your low apertures, which actually mean it's the widest open it can be. So the benefit of having it wide open is you're going to get a lot of light into the lens, which means you're going to be able to shoot better at night. So that tends to be the biggest advantage of that. So the lower the number, the more open the lens is. The more open the lens is, the more light is going to come into the lens, which has a couple of advantages. The first advantage being that you're going to be able to shoot better at night because you will be having more light coming into the camera. Currently, I'm shooting on a 50mm 1.8, and I just have one light in my room, besides this one, but this one's not on me, so that one isn't lighting my room at all. But this 1.8 is really good if I were to go outside right now and go shoot, I don't know, whatever is in my street. So the low aperture lenses are really good at nighttime, which is really great if you're shooting weddings or sports or anything that happens at night that you may or may not have a lot of great, ambient light. The second advantage of having a low aperture lens is what's called shallow depth of field, which is that beautiful, sexy, blurred out background that everyone's iPhones can do now. That used to be a camera only feature. That's what the low numbers do. Obviously the opposite end, the higher numbers, the 5.6, the 8s, the 10s, etc., are going to be more of a narrow opening in the lens. Therefore, less light, therefore not as good at nighttime. Some of the advantages of having a closed down aperture are if you're shooting during the daytime, if you're outside in the middle of the day, it's really bright. Closing down that aperture will allow less light into the lens, which means it will look the way it's supposed to look. One of the trade-offs though with the high apertures is that you're gonna have what's called deep focus, which, can be advantageous in its own stylistic way if you do a lot of landscapes, if you do a lot of wide shots and things like that. But basically it means that everything is in focus. There isn't going to be one person and then a blurred background. It's everything is in focus, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and that's pretty much the basics of aperture. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, I'm sorry. If I missed anything, feel free to drop it in the comments. Feel free to drop it in the comments and let me know, because I'm curious. I don't really know what else there is to teach about aperture. This is also just the basics. I'm just trying to get some information out there to different people who may or may not need it. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.